What's up, guys? PJ coming at you with a new video. I know it's been a while since I posted one. I was a little upset with PC not getting the next gen Madden, and I didn't want to put up content with the old Madden, at least the last gen version of it. Not to mention, things have been crazy around life. You got a toddler running around the house. It's difficult to do this stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it using Twitch, downloading the videos off of that and editing them. So I can't. My quality wasn't great to begin with, but I'm not quite sure how it's going to come out, but I figured, I had fun doing this stuff. I might as well do it this way. The way it looks on the screen and the way the audio is and everything, I'll fix what I can. But if you guys stick through the videos, you just have to kind of deal with it. If the first time around the channel, thank you all for checking it out. Hit that like and subscribe button if you guys want to see more. I'll try to get a couple videos up a week. Content will be better when the next Madden comes out. But it is what it is until then. I kind of got the urge to do this with another Bears franchise. We have a nice offseason coming up here. Obviously, it's the end of the year. Chiefs just won the Super Bowl. It was a hell of a game. But we have an exciting offseason, ton of money. #1 pick in the draft. I'll probably end up moving that. I think I'm going to go ahead and trade that with the Colts. See what they offer me in the draft. I'm not going to cheese anything, but don't need a quarterback. We are going to use the Ravens offensive playbook to kind of get the best we can out of Justin Fields this next year. But first off, we're going to start in the offseason. Got to re-sign some guys, go through free agency. I'm not going to show you every little bit of it. And try to bore you guys, but I'll show you guys anything important, which means starting off, I'm probably not going to bring back David Montgomery. I love Monty, but with Khalil Herbert, I know we're not going to be a contending team right away. We don't need to spend money on a running back. We have 21 holes to fill on this team, so we'll probably let him go. There's not a ton of people on here. We may not bring anybody back, but I'll show you guys anybody that we cut in the next week, and then we'll start off in free agency and see what we can do from there. Take a quick look at the prospects. I am using Bengals' draft class that he has on Madden. It's probably the best one that I've seen so far. He does a pretty good job, and it's based on his opinion and his analysis and everything else, and people may not agree with it, but from what I've seen, for the most part, I don't have an issue with it. Some guys are hits, some guys are misses. I don't know who's a superstar and whatnot in this draft class, so I won't be able to cheese it that way. But now I'm a big fan of his rebuilds, especially his draft stuff around the offseason. His stuff's pretty interesting to me, so we're gonna go ahead and use his stuff. He seems to know what he's talking about to an extent. You'll see, guys. We'll at least have next year's draft class. If he has the one following, I'll probably use that for the second season, and we'll just kind of let the computer create their own after that, but at least bring some more realism into this as much as we can. Going through this roster, the Bears front office has done a decent job of purging those bad contracts over the last couple of years. I cut a couple of guys. Cut Al Muhammad on the D-line and Justin Jones. Cody Whitehair is somebody I looked at for a second, but I don't want to have to find a left guard on top of everything else we have to look for this offseason. He's solid enough. I don't have much of a reason not to keep him. Eddie Jackson makes a ton of money, but again, we have a ton of money to spend, and he doesn't. I'm not going to find someone better for cheaper. I'm a big Eddie Jackson fan. I just think the defense hasn't really fit him the last few years, really since Fangio left. So we'll see how he plays this next year. He might be an off-season cut next season. Simeon I couldn't cut. He's injured for a couple of weeks. I did keep the injuries on, so I guess he's safe for now. But I'm going to look for a quarterback with some more speed to kind of fit this offense in case Fields does go down. There's not a ton of top-end talent in this free agent class. Not anybody that will want to come to us regardless. Guys like Kareem Hunt, OBJ don't really fit what we're looking for. Miles Sanders, if I'm going to bring a running back in, I would have kept David Montgomery, I think. I may take someone later on in the draft, but really we're looking for weapons for Justin Fields, which is obviously an issue they've had in real life. There's not a ton of people that want to play for us, unfortunately. But Sterling Shepard has interest, which is one of the few guys. They're all pretty old. I may bring him in for a season, even if he ends up getting cut in the preseason, or ends up being our fourth receiver, whatever. But right now, all we have is Mooney and Claypool. Not a lot of talent behind them. We have $163 million after this contract if he even accepts it. So figured, why not? Oh, there's my son making his entrance. So with this first section of free agency, going through. With as many holes as we have, there's just not a whole lot of players that are going to fill those holes and make an impact, that are interested in playing for us. And I don't really feel like overspending on players to fill in. Daron Payne is someone I want the Bears to go after in real life. He's a hell of a defensive tackle. It would help us out down low. I'm going to throw as much money as I can at him without killing us, but we have some competition there. Sterling Shepard, I touched on for a split second. Rock Ya-Sin, I'd like to bring him in. No, we're overpaying for him, it looks like there, but kind of take over that third cornerback role. I like Kyler Gordon, and obviously Jalen Johnson's a stud. Bryce Huff, this is to play opposite of Travis Gibson. Now, if we end up getting Will Anderson, if he falls to us in the draft, whoever we trade back to, I'm not going to turn down taking him. But Jalen Carter would be ahead of him on my board if they both happen to be there. So this is kind of reassurance. Now, if I can get Carter to play alongside Daron Payne and then have Huff and Gibson, that's a pretty solid front four. I think Kazir White, anybody that watched the Bears play this season, our linebacking core was abysmal, especially after Roquan left. I like Jack Sanborn. I'll probably keep him in that middle linebacker role, at least for a season. But we need some help on the outside. So we're going to go ahead and go after these 5 guys and see how this goes. Looks like we missed out on the 2 big hitters, Huff and Payne. Did bring in Rock Ya-Sin, brought in Kazir White. Again, with as many holes in this team, it doesn't hurt. Looks like we ended up getting Sterling Shepard to come in. Got Terrence Steele. Right tackle is a huge hole for us. Alex Leatherwood was our starter as of before this signing. Brought Chris Barnes in to play the other outside linebacker spot. He's a good linebacker. Nothing special, but he's got that star ability, which will help him progress a little bit more. Swung and missed on a couple more guys. Just different positions. Tried to bring Justin Jones back at DT because we don't have anybody. But like I said, I'm not going to overpay for people. So I'll see you guys at the end of free agency. This is just be the rest of this section. Excuse me. It'll just be roster fillers. No one else is going to make much of an impact for us. But I'll see you guys at the end of it. Take a quick look again at who we brought in. I talked about Shepard, Steele, Rock Ya-Sin, Kazir White. Brought Justin Evans in as a backup safety. Run some of those bigger nickel packages. And a bunch of roster fillers. Kalen Ballage. Henry Anderson's our number 1 DT right now, which isn't what we're hoping for going into the offseason, but we missed out on Payne. Max Williams backup tight end, and just some more backups. Brought in Taysom Hill because I wanted someone with some speed, the ability to run because of that Baltimore offense we are running in case Fields goes down. A couple of big name guys that are left, big name guys that ended up getting signed this season. Jordan Poyer over to the Panthers. Miles Sanders in New England. OBJ went to the Bengals because they need 4 receivers. I didn't realize Michael Thomas was even in free agency. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's been looking for number 1 receiver for a while. As long as he stays in the field, it's going to be a good fit. Kareem Hunt goes to the Panthers in every offseason. Josh Allen to the Lions. They'll have to face him. It's an odd team to sign with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. David Montgomery went to the Commanders. All right, Tom Brady went to the Commanders. Still in here, still in free agency, rocking at 46. I know he retired in real life, but I can't fix that in Madden. From this point on, whatever happened in the offseason, I did start from the Super Bowl, the latest start that Madden allows you to. So I have the up-to-date, as much up-to-date as I can. That's a good signing for them. But I can't fix it all without jumping through and spending hours on it. I'm just not going to do that. So it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and start this draft off. I'm not a draft guru or a college football enthusiast, so I'll know a few of the players that are here just from stuff that I've watched, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know who I'm taking in the 7th round. We'll go ahead and sim through the first, I don't know, maybe halfway through the first round. We'll see how it goes. Just kind of see who goes where, make it a little interesting, but I'm not going to simulate making you guys watch every pick. But we are going to start off by getting rid of this draft pick to a team that's going to need a quarterback in the first round. I don't see Denver being an option. I'm looking for a top pick. The Cardinals don't make any sense because they have Kyler Murray. The Texans will get a quarterback at number 2. I'm really looking for a Colts trade. It just seems like it's going to make the most sense. I don't think they offered one. Oh, there it is. 4th pick in this year's draft, a 3rd next year, and a 4th this year. I'm not a huge fan of that. The Giants are committed to Daniel Jones after the season he had. The Jets are an option, but I don't want to fall down to 13. The Lions would be a weird one with an in-division trade, but I know they could use a quarterback. The Panthers are another team that could move up. I think just for a level of realism, we're going to stick with the Colts pick. We're going to pick up another fourth this year, another third the following year. Only move back to 4, so we still got a chance at one of those 2D linemen we want to look at, Will Anderson and Carter. Now, I can't help Madden's issues, so if these teams draft, they trade up and don't draft a quarterback, I can't do anything about that. And Jalen Carter, so the Colts traded up and drafted a defensive lineman. Texans took Bryce Young, which I'm sure they'd love to have fall to him at number 2. Will Anderson to the Cardinals. So we have the number 4 pick. C.J. Stroud and Will Levis are still here, and we missed out on both the guys we were looking to get with that top pick. That's unfortunate. I think we're going to take a look between probably these 2 left tackles. I'm not interested in a power rusher outside. I'm looking for some help for Justin Fields. We obviously have holes in the offensive line. Broderick Jones is probably going to be our guy. He's got that A run block that we know for sure. And we're going to go ahead and take him, bring him in, and try to keep Justin Fields alive. Only 20 years old, ton of talent. 91 strength, hidden potential. I'm not upset with that. Take a look at the next few picks, but probably move this along pretty quickly. Tyree Wilson goes to Seattle. They signed Daron Payne too. Got Paris Johnson going to the Lions. They're sticking with Jared Goff, Miles Murphy to the Raiders. I don't believe that they got rid of Derek Carr in this one. Miles Murphy's a hell of a talent out of Clemson. He might have seen play quite a bit. Both those quarterbacks, Levis and Stroud, are still sticking around. The Falcons pass on them as well. Now I'm just in this to see those guys get drafted. Jordan Addison, sticking with Sam Darnold.
The Tennessee Titans are
Eagles bolster that defensive lineup.
The Houston Texans.
C.J. Stroud to the Titans. I don't see that happening this season, but as a Bears fan that lives in Tennessee, they love it. I can tell you that much. Trenton Simpson going to the Texans.
Next up, the Patriots.
Jets taking Skaransky. I'm just waiting for Will Levis to get taken now.
It's the Green Bay Packers.
So Green Bay do it.
The next selection, it's the
Bring another tight
Washington
end.
Commanders.
Washington signed Brady, so they're not going to be looking for a quarterback. Can you take it here? Lions could take Will Levis with the 18th pick.
On the clock now.
And they didn't.
It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next up, it's
Anthony Richardson went before Will Levis. Tampa's going to need a quarterback after Brady retiring in real life, but he left in this one. Don't want to go with Kyle Trask, so Anthony Richardson, another kid out of Florida.
Ravens are on the
Drew
clock
Sanders.
now.
I don't know what's going on with Will Levis. He was ranked as a top 5 player. I know he's not going to be, but he was ranked as a top 5 player in the draft
On
class.
clock, it's the 49ers.
I wasn't expecting to simulate this far into it, but no, Bijan Robinson to fill in with Zeke and Tony Pollard in that backfield.
It's the Denver
Bengals bringing a
Broncos.
running back. Odd choice.
On the clock now, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Isaiah Foskey. Steelers got the first pick of the second round from the Bears in that awful
The
trade for
Houston Texans.
Chase Claypool.
The Arizona Cardinals
I'm interested to
are
see.
now on the clock.
Oh, Will Levis goes to the Cardinals in the second round because Madden makes 0 sense. I figured go to the Colts here. Well, all right, that's it. I'm not going to make you guys watch any more draft picks except for mine. So we'll go ahead and simulate to my next pick and see what we can get in the rest of the draft. 23rd pick, see what we have here. Any talent jumping off the board. Kayshon Boutte. He's a hell of a player last year, or the season ago with Kenny Pickett and Pitt. They went to LSU. They didn't have a great season. We need wide receiver help, and he may have had a down year, but he's got a hell of a lot of potential. I would hope that he wouldn't get hit too much in this draft class.
The Detroit
He's normal,
Lions
but he's 93
now
speed,
on the clock.
athletic, not super high jumping, but he's quick. We need a big body receiver if Claypool doesn't work out, but now we have two quick guys with Mooney and Butte, and I'm not upset about that. My son might
On
be.
the clock now, the Chicago Bears.
8 picks later, we're back up again. Could use some defensive line help, really across the board. I think we're going to go ahead and do that. We need a linebacker and a couple of D linemen. We've got Derek Hall out of Auburn. Wasn't too interested in a power rusher, but it's either him or Zach Harrison. Harrison could probably move down, depending on strength, to play DT. He's got elite strength. Good block shedding. Not much of a pass rusher, more of a run stopper. Obviously, his archetype says that. Then we're going to go ahead and scoop him up. He is hidden, 90 strength. May look at sliding him down to the defensive tackle spot, depending on the rest of the offseason goes. We're talking about more defensive line help. Zach Pickens is here with the first pick in the 4th round. Nothing stellar, solid across the board. He has decent pass rushing moves for defensive tackle. Big bodied, he'll fit alongside a guy we just took in the last round.
On the clock now.
He is normal, but I think that those guys are going to fit well together.
Chicago
I have the
Bears
4th
are
pick
now
here
on
from
the
that
clock.
Colts trade. We're going to take a look at some pass rushing alongside Gibson. Looking at these two, I'm guessing it's O'Shawn Mathis. I apologize. Not like you'll see this anyway. He's got better block shedding than Baldonado. A little bit weaker of a passer, but looks like more of an actual pass rusher. Better power moves. Not great agility, which is not good for bending around, but he's got great speed. I'll go ahead and take him.
And now on
84
the clock,
speed, 87
the
strength,
Minnesota
solid on the
Vikings.
outside. He may not start, but he'll at least make the roster. The rest of these picks are just going to be guys I have no idea who they are. So I'll go ahead and just show you guys at the end.
Chicago
Let's
Bears
get past
are
this
on
point.
the clock now.
Had a decent amount of picks this year. Got a couple more next year. Did that trade with the Colts and some other things. So brought in the left tackle. He's going to step in and start immediately. They shuffle some things around the offensive line, kind of see how things go. Move Whitehair back down to guard, or down to center. Brought in some receiver help. Got Zach Harrison. I'm probably kicking him down to defensive tackle to play alongside Pickens. Mathis ended up being a 70, so he'll probably start for us as well. And we brought in Deuce Vaughn, had a solid season at Kansas State. Max Duggan, Heisman finalist. He fits the scheme that we're playing with that Baltimore offense. I hope I never see him on the field, but it's a fun little story. Brought in some linebacker help. Raheem Jarrett we got in the 6th round. And then we got some backup offensive line at the end too. Didn't have the splash moves this offseason that just didn't fit. There weren't really any players in free agency that would have helped us out. They were worth spending a ton of money on. But we got Justin Fields at quarterback. Just a quick look at the roster. Brought in Taysom Hill, got Max Duggan there. Got Khalil Herbert and Vaughn. Brought in Kalen Ballage. Signed Jacob Johnson. We got Mooney, Shepard, Claypool, and Butte, and Jarrett. A couple of guys fighting for that 3rd receiver role. Shepard may play 4th just to kind of get some of these young guys in here. We got Cole Kmet and Max Williams at tight end. We got Braxton and Broderick Jones. I'll probably kick one of them, most likely Braxton Jones, to right tackle. We'll play around with it because we have Terrence Steele at right tackle right now as well. Got Whitehair, Lucas Patrick. He's not going to be starting at center, regardless of who I move around. Tevin Jenkins really came on strong this season at guard for the Bears. Looked like it was his natural position. Brought in Terrence Steele as well. You got Travis Gibson. Mathis may start at right end opposite of him. We also have Dominique Robinson. Hell of a story out of Miami, of Ohio. Was a receiver when he came into college. Started to do defensive end. Super athletic. Zach Harrison there is going to kick down. Play probably with Pickens at defensive tackle. At Henry Anderson there right now. Going to kick Chris Barnes over that left outside linebacker spot. Him and Jack Sanborn and Kazir White. No, not a real star-studded group, but athletic, solid tacklers. We got Jalen Johnson, Rocky Sin, Kyler Gordon is our 3 corners. Still got Eddie Jackson, and then Jaquan Brisker there. Kept Cairo Santos and Trenton Gill this offseason. Not a stellar roster. Nothing's going to make you turn your TV on just to watch them unless you're a Bears fan, but it's the first year. Ryan Poles did a great job the previous offseason, getting some assets, getting rid of people that had bad contracts, moving Mack, moving Quinn, guys like that. So we're on the stepping stones of our rebuild. We purged our team of older guys, bad contracts, brought in some assets. So this isn't going to be a great first year, but moving the guys in the roster around a little bit to fit them where we want them. Zach Harrison came over from end to defensive tackle, up to a 76 overall. Good speed for a DT. Strength is the highest one on the team, even though we started off as a defensive end out of Ohio State. So that was a pretty good steal for us, getting to move him down to DT and let him play what seems to be his natural position. Looks like we're going to take on the Saints the first game of the year. That'll be the next video. I try to keep my videos pretty short. All seasons go a little bit longer, but I don't want to have a video going out there 30, 40 minutes long all the time, especially week to week. If you are new to the channel, we play the key moments, kind of gives some more variety to the game. Lets the computer dictate a little bit more so we don't win every game or get blown out by 60. We are going to start our season goal off at probably 7 wins. This team doesn't have a ton of talent, as you saw, but I don't think we're going to be vying for that number 1 overall pick again. Camp standout, Chris Barnes, interestingly enough. So that signing in the offseason, young player, star development. He's never been more ready. Get 2 combined sacks with tackles for a loss and continue his breakout. He's just going to keep getting boosts of experience, which will help us out down the road. Go ahead and upgrade these guys. Just Larry Borum. Don't care. One little thing I did see, there's a glitch in Madden if you don't know. When you do training, you go over to the focus players, that's the words. Players, it shows it immediately. So we have that to look forward to. It was a pretty nice find, but he'll be an X factor once he gets going and we get past the hidden portion of his development. So that was a hell of a draft pick by us. That'll fill out the tackle spot up for the rest of this franchise, seems like. So that was a pretty nice find. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up my scouting, set this training up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I appreciate y'all. Talk to you later.